is a dark and stormy day. What's up, witches? It's Monday, and it is a dark and not quite stormy, but rainy, very deeply gray day. And that's comforting to me. And so I want to offer you an unboxing. But first, I want to offer you this. Tea in my very special cup. Let me show you how special this cup is, and the deck at the same time. Here's my special kitty cup. Here, you can see it better this way. My kitty cup. And today's special deck. Perfect deck for a day like today. The Darkwood Tarot. I have just got this deck, and it seems just tailor-made for a day like today. Okay, wait a second. That's why. That's better. I had you zoomed in a little bit. And this is a big deck. It's taking up all the space. Let me make a little bit more room. What the fuck? Okay, so much for a nice smooth intro, huh? Anyhow, this is the Darkwood Tarot by Sasha Graham with art by Abigail Larson. Let's let the steam out. Look at that. All right. Let me pop a charcoal over there. Okay. Sasha Graham, art by Abigail Larson. Same thing there, includes a 78 card deck and 304 page full color guidebook. You can see this is Llewellyn worldwide. Same thing there. Same thing there. Okay, this is something that bugs me. So you see how the box opens. It's a magnet box. Opens that way. But when you put it on a shelf, the end of it is upside down. You have to put it so it goes like that. It bugs me. Anyway. Okay, let's get into this lovely, clicky, snappy magnet box. Look at this. So we see people now taking full advantage of the quirks of packaging. And this magnet kind of box, when you open it up, look at that. I wonder, I'm assuming that's the Ace of Pentacles in this deck, but we'll find out. And indeed, a whopping book. And look at the dark pages and the glossy, full color photographs. I appreciate so much with my old eyes that are now getting cataracts. Hold on. Sorry. There. The fact that books are being produced that have these gigantic images of each card, so I really can see all of the details in them. Older witches appreciate you. The copyright on this is... Takes a while to get to the copyright page. 2021. So, and it's the fourth printing. It says 2021. So this thing's been going gangbusters. We have the ribbon pull on the inside. Interesting that this insert is very obviously corrugated cardboard. That seems a little cheesy. And inside, it looks like there's another card, but that's actually the cardboard. See how it's kind of ridged? And the DW for Darkwood. Card backs are great. All right, let's scoot these aside and zoom you in so you can really get a load of this gorgeous deck. I mean, this really is a first impression because I took the plastic off and I have not gone through the deck. Okay. Oh, look at that little kitty paw. I salute you with my hot thyme tea. It's a comfortable day. You know what I mean? I think I want to pull you in even more. Oh, that's more enough, I do believe. Here we go. The Fool is a female, and she has not only a little, looks like a coyote coming after her, but a cat. I have been doing some more deep foundational study into the major arcana again. So the Fool speaks to me now in so many ways that were kind of pushed into the background through years of professional reading. Here's the Magician. The art style is, it's cartoon, definitely cartoon style. I had said to my son something about it being anime, and he said, no, that's not anime. It's just animated style. And let's bring you in real close here. So you see a lot of fine line work, a lot of detail. We've got really nice border around it that, you know, there's elements of the drawing that continue into the border. Cardstock is Llewellyn cardstock. I can't wait to shuffle them. They're light, they're pliable. So here's the Magician. And I mean, I'm tempted to bring you in. Well, let me bring you in just a little bit closer. You're not going to get a whole lot more because... No, I can do better. Okay, stop. There, that's about as good as I can do. So here's the Magician with his tools on the table, unified with spirit. And look at this dark, kind of viney looking, I guess it's energy. And on the front it says, as above, so below. There's instead of a pentacle, it's a sand dollar. We see the white lilies and the red roses and the owl and the Ouroboros. So we are, in the infinity sign, we are really sticking to the original Waite Smith imagery. And that's encouraging. We have the High Priestess. Very softly colored, low contrast. You know, dark and comforting like today. Today is a low contrast day. I look out in the woods and everything's just dark. So here's the High Priestess, and it actually says Tarot, T-A-R-O-T, on her scroll. Usually it's T-A-R-O, or T-O-R-A, Torah is what it usually says. And then we have the D and the W, so the two columns of the High Priestess are trees with D on one and W on the other, rather than the B and the J that it usually has. Here's the Empress. Rich, obviously pregnant. There's a heart. There's the Venus symbol. There's an open book. And the Emperor is just straight up a ram. Interesting, we've got like the Venus symbol here as well. You know, generally the Emperor, if we're sticking to traditional images, the Emperor is seated on his throne and the arms of the throne are ram's heads. And there's usually a shield down by his feet, but then here we just see the Venus symbol. It'll be interesting to see how the book talks about the images. Here's the Hierophant, very different. So we have, all right, I want to bring you in close for this. We have a hermaphroditic image here. We have a male, cooperate with me, camera, please. We have a seemingly masculine face with a beard, and then we have a seemingly feminine body, and we've got the symbol for Taurus. There are the keys. Very interesting. I mean, appealing, dark, comfortable colors, appealing images. Here are the lovers, and rather than an angel up in the sky, look at, we've got this kind of hooded figure. and the flames of passion around them. Wow. Then we have the Chariot is an eagle. So those first couple cards, the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, stuck very close to Rider-Waite or Waite-Smith imagery, and then we've got some radical departures here. But look at that image. I love the symmetry of the wings. It's gorgeous. Here's Strength. And she is facing down a cobra. Wow. The Hermit is female with her lamp looking the other way than the Hermit usually looks, to the left. If you do study more cartomantic systems like Lenormand, like Kipper, where things are very much directional, it starts to seep over into your tarot as well. And I mean, I've always read like that, and it was an intuitive thing when I started off with the Hanson Roberts and doing the Wheel of Fortune spread. I started noticing which way things were heading and which way things were looking. Just another nuance for your readings. And, interestingly, the Hermit usually looks to the left side, which is considered the past most of the time in Western culture. We read from left to right, so we tend to look at the left as the past. Left can be the feminine side, so you can imagine what looking to the right will be. And the Wheel of Fortune, so we have the little demons, and we have, the serpent and the demon kind of riding the wheel. And then we've got 4 little demons, each with their own open book in the corners. But it's not like just this wheel in the sky. It's a spinning wheel, which is an interesting thing, because you think about, fate and fortune, which are kind of the same thing, and just, the wheel turns, but in this turning, it is spinning a thread, and the thread of your life. Very interesting. Justice. The sword up and the scales down, and she is not the blindfolded one, but look at these women in shackles that are blindfolded that are awaiting her justice. Wow. Then we have the Hanged Woman. Somebody is yelling out there. What the heck? Uh-oh, I think somebody's puppy took off. Uh-oh, come home, puppy. There's the Hanged Man. All right. I'm glad they wrapped her skirt up over the bar. Here's Death. Oh, look at the angel. And the fascinating image. Look at this. So we see kind of into or past the robe to the rest of the skeleton. Wow. Beautiful. Here's Temperance. Look at her. She is gorgeous. Okay, gotta say, this is like my favorite one so far. This image just strikes me very. Look at that. I am really attracted by the color. Look at the kind of energy sparkles that are coming down here in the wings. That's gorgeous. Here's the Devil. We only have one person facing down the Devil rather than the 2. The Justice card almost looked more like a Devil card with the 2 bound people. Wow. And there's the Tower. It looks like, the top is being lifted off. Star. Look at the bats. Under picture. The moon. So we have a lot of naked women, but as the tarot does, but not a lot of detail there. And that's appreciated, actually. And here's the sun, another naked woman. There's Lady Godiva on a dark horse. Then Judgment with a vampire. They're in a graveyard and somebody's about to get bit. Wow. Here's the World with her 2 wands. And we have a fox, the fox and the cat from the Fool card. And then we have I think the first one I said it was a coyote. It looks like a fox now. And then we have a salamander and a spider. So again, I'll be interested to see if the book mentions those 4 things and which elements go with which. So let's look at it. No better time to ask than when the question is right on your mind. Interesting. So we have in the book the title of the card and then a phrase. The world is the archetype of integration, and then you are the universe. The shadow witch is infused with supernatural force. She integrates the lesson and experiences of each card. She is all things, light and dark, high and low, masculine and feminine, and all gray areas in between. Duality vanishes. She is the tantric entirety of infinite possibilities. Excellent writing. She holds 2 magic wands compared to the magician who held a single wand. I love the cross-referencing here. Her wands reverberate as a constant source of power. Rather than direct the energy like the magician, she embodies the energy in every direction. 4 corner animals reflect the 4 suits of tarot, 4 elements in 4 directions, but it doesn't say which one's which. Symbiotic universal dance ensues as everything moves in perfect symmetry. The world is the ultimate card, the grand finale of the major arcana. It is the sweet spot of life where all energies mingle inside and outside, meeting in ecstatic union. Your desire is met. You share your gifts with the world. You hold nothing back. You are fully alive and present. The outer world manifests and greets you with everything you have ever desired. It is the ultimate state of bliss. Dang! And that's just the, the writer's musings. Then we have actual meanings broken down. Travel, excitement and movement, going with the flow, lost in the moment, complete integration with the world around you, effortless ease, freedom of the self, you in all your glory, victory, magic, you as you were always meant to be, success, infinity, grace, magnetic. And then there's the shadow meanings. Resisting your true nature, reacting instead of simply being, hiding from your true self, projecting false assumptions onto others, watching from the sidelines rather than joining the game. Dang! So, booyah to Sasha Graham. Excellent writing. Here's the Ace of Wands. Now we find out if the pip cards are pips. 2 of Wands, they're not. Yay! And we have lit wands. The 3 of Wands. She's got some, is that blood? Yes, she is the vampiress. With the bats. And the 4 of Wands is the troll under the bridge. And the 5, look at the demons with the mushroom. 1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I do see 5 wands. So we do have traditional representation, all these wands going in different directions. The 6 of Wands. Victory. Is this the Sealy Court? The 7 of what? The Sealy Court being one of the names of the fairies that troop. The troop in fairies. There we go. And look at that. I turned exactly to the 6 of Wands. I just opened the book and landed there. So for the minors, we do have full. So here it says 6 of Wands. There's the image. So we do have a giant image of every card in this deck. I'm kind of tempted to do the book instead of the cards, but it's called the Parade of Ghosts. So every card has a title of the minors. Clash of the Fairy Folk is the 4. Grumpy Old Troll is the 3. Vampire's Embrace is the 2. Witch of Wands is the Ace. No, the 2. Witch of Wands is the 2. The Vampire's Embrace is the 3. Clash of Fairy Folk is the 4. Okay, got it. So that's Parade of Ghosts. Confront the Shadow is the 7. Mermaid's Dream is the 8. Clown Crossing is the 9. Demonic Fire is the 10. Burning Ember is the Page, so we have a feminine looking character in the masculine fire. Knight of Wands is explosion. Yeah. The Queen is charismatic flame. I love these little subtitles. And the King is iconoclast. Ow! A person who enjoys expressing power, courage in the face of adversity, the strength to challenge oneself. Exhaustive energy sometimes requires a break. Leadership and organizational ability, dazzling charisma, inspiring the crowd. Excellent court card meanings. All right, on to cups. This is called flow. Oh, I didn't look at what the Ace of Wands was called. The Ace of Wands is called ignition. This is flow. This is a book well worth studying. I need some tea. The 2 is recognition. Ooh. The 3 is weird sisters. Yes. The 4 is unseen gifts. Oh, okay. So they're looking at, usually the 4 of Cups has somebody turning away from the cups that are sitting there, but there's a hand offering a 4th cup. But this is all 4 cups here, but there's another fox back there that's bringing a dead rabbit as a gift and is not being seen. Okay, the 5 is called sadness. The 6 is Mother Crow. So there's the nestlings. Remembering childhood. 7 of Cups is vision quest. Good. Slithering snake is the 8. Oof, somebody's slithering away. The 9 says devour it. Yeah. The 10 is happily ever after. These are just beautiful and goth and dark, and I love them so much. The page is the intuitive. The Knight is the romantic. The Queen is the virtuoso. No. The Queen is the empath, yes. And the King is the virtuoso. These titles are like, are helping me not hate the court cards, at least in this deck. Okay, now we go to the swords. The Ace is the origin story. The 2, retreat. I love the reflection there. Which, yeah, retreat and reflect. The 3 is heart opener. The big spider. The 4 is happily never after. The 5 is cruelty. Boy, I'll say. So she's hanging by a hand and she's got 2 knives in her back. There's 2 swords on the ground, and this woman is holding another one. Yikes. But, yes, 5 of Swords, hell yes, you bet. Journey is the 6. It doesn't say, journey to success or anything. It's just journey. Red Hood in the Wood is the 7. Stealing away the swords. The 8 is execution. Oof. Oof. So not only is she bound and surrounded by the swords, but she's got a noose around her neck. Yikes. The meaning of it says bound, paralysis, you have the power to escape. Feels like time's running out, making a point to suffer. You're not the first or last person to have your feelings hurt. Remove your self-imposed blindfold and view the truth. Awesome. 9 of Swords is self-critique. Oof. That hurts. And the 10 is death of the ego. Yeah. Okay. The Page is the detective. The Knight is the fighter. Yes. The Queen is the articulator. I haven't really been looking at these images closely. And the King is the thinker. Let me go back. So, he was the detective, and he's got that look. I'm looking for something. The fighter, on his feet, ready to go, sword drawn. The articulator, and she does look like she's splaining something. And then the king is the thinker. Yes. Oh God, I can't wait to use this deck. And yes, indeed, the image inside the box here is the Ace of Pentacles, and that is called The World in a Grain of Sand. Dang. Look at the tree. Ghosty tree. Choice is the 2. Creativity is the 3. Closest I've seen to just plain old pip card. The 4, we've got the tree again here. Miser. Perfect. 5 is Devil's Deal. Oh, wait. That's the 6. I missed something. The 5 is Dark Knight. Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Now, the 6 is Devil's Deal. Wow. I mean, so he's giving money and they're signing. This is way different meaning of the 6 of Pentacles. Acts of charity and donation, reciprocity. You are given what you need, but at what price? Look before signing legal contracts and giving too much away. Kindness appears in a surprising place. So it's, I guess this could be the no such thing as a free lunch card. Or, you know, when you're trying to look for something without an exchange. It's a reminder that there's always an energy exchange. Okay, and this is weird. I'm getting, all right. The 7 is slumber. Wow. Interesting. Rest and reset, I guess. I mean, the 7 talks mostly about waiting, to me, waiting till something comes to fruition. The 8 is Dryad. Spirit of the trees. The 9 is Secret Garden. That's perfect. Look at her wings. And the 10 is Threshold. Oh, that's gorgeous. Page is the student, yes. Knight is slow and steady. Perfect. Queen is sensual goddess. Oh, yes, indeed. And the king, oops, is the builder. He looks more emperor-like than the emperor did, being just a ram. Fabulous. Just frickin' fabulous deck. Okay, let me light up my charcoal. There it is. And then I'll back you back out and we'll take a look at the book. There we go. I'll back you way back out. Yeah. Okay. I have to be careful because if I back you down too far, I can't grab you anymore. All right. Here we go. There. Now, take a look at the book closer. So, as I said, these beautiful dark pages, glossy pictures, big images. Sasha Graham is the author of Tarot Diva, 365 Tarot Spreads. I want that book. 365 Tarot Spells, and Llewellyn's complete book of the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. Wow. She served as editor and writer of Los Scarabæos Tarot Fundamentals and is a contributing author to Llewellyn's 2020 Magical Almanac. Now, I totally believe, you know, this is why she wrote all those books, because, damn, she's great. Sasha teaches tarot classes and lectures around the globe. She lives in New York City and the Catskills and can be found online at sashagraham.com. Abigail Larson is a Hugo Award-winning artist specializing in macabre and gothic illustration. She's worked with Sideshow Collectibles, SY Sci-Fi, Universal Titan Comics, Dark Horse, and DC Vertigo. For more information, visit AbigailLarson.com. I hope this isn't the first or the only deck she's going to do. Okay, so we have part 1, Reading the Wood, Once Upon a Time, The Shadow Self, Book of Shadows and Initiation, Alchemical Questions, Enchantments, Recurring Patterns, The Four Suits, Royal Ones, and Tarot Spreads. Then we do the cards. So this book is meaty. There's a huge introduction here by Sasha Graham. Let's do the first paragraph. Welcome to the Darkwood Tarot. The forest is ever so happy you have arrived. It sensed your presence, felt an opening, and called to you. Its thickets and thorns were wishing, waiting, and longing for your presence. You've responded to its siren song now, and it promises to reward you deeply. Pathways, visions, and delights are prepared for your adventure. Are you ready? The Darkwood Tarot is a traditional tarot, but it arrives at your fingertips with an extra dose of delicious darkness. The Darkwood Tarot is a shadow tarot deck. A shadow deck requires you to examine hidden aspects of the psyche during a reading. It is designed to guide you into uncharted territory you may not have explored in a traditional tarot reading. Shadow work is challenging. It is not for the faint of heart. You'll require a heavy dose of bravery and a commitment to truth if you are to keep reading. So, yeah, shadow work is the exploration of the repressed, unconscious, often frightening aspects of our personality. So, I just fell in love, you guys. Okay, so we have Once Upon a Time. Is there a more potent phrase in storytelling? Our ears perk up when we prepare to dig into a good story. Stories offer us insights, escapism, options, opinions, ideas. Stories sometimes show us how to live when they gift us with solutions we can apply. Tarot is the ultimate storytelling device. Okay. I'm just going to skim here. Anyone can read tarot. You don't need special powers to read the cards. You are already a master storyteller. Allow the tarot to become your storytelling tool. And if you're drawn to it at all, you have the gift. You know, just trust that. We are all narrators who assign meaning to everything that happens to us. We all possess sensitive, intuitive abilities. It is what makes us human. Trust yourself and your imagination as you approach the cards. Enjoy the experience without the fear of getting it wrong. Okay, tips for immediate intuitive readings. Go with your first instinct. What catches your attention on the card? Tell the story you see on the card. Choose a single symbol and interpret it as an answer. What does the symbol on the card mean to you? Read the image like you're telling a story to a child. Trust your gut. Tips for deeper readings. Study the card definitions. Write your own personal meanings for the cards. What song, smell, and emotional quality does the card invoke? These are excellent. Look for tarot examples in everyday life. Imagine what happens before and after the action in the card. If the tarot cards could speak to you, what would it say? Then there's a section on the shadow self and the power contained therein. The Darkwood Tarot challenges you to work with the shadow meaning of each card. Shadow meanings take the place of traditional tarot reversals. Use them whenever a reversed card appears in a reading. Okay, so yes, the shadow meanings are the reverse, the upside down world of reversals. Okay, I like this. There are many ways to interpret a reversed card in addition to a shadow meaning. Get into the habit of flipping your cards left to right. Yes, like flipping pages. Yes, so you don't flip them like this, you flip them like this. So they are, however you're holding the deck is how the cards are going to be oriented. This way you will know if a card is truly reversed or not. Here are additional ways to interpret reverse cards. When I did my live stream last week, I was doing a reading and there was a reversed card and someone said, I thought you didn't read reverses. And it's like, I don't normally set my decks up for reverses. And because I feel there's just enough in the deck, you know, for me to draw on. And that also means that if a card comes up truly reversed, it really has an impact. You know, if a card goes to all that trouble to reverse itself for a reading, of course I'm going to pay attention to that. Okay. Here, additional ways. Traditional reversal. The card takes on its opposite meaning. Example, the Ace of Wands marks the spark of desire. Therefore, reversed Ace of Wands is smothered or extinguished desire. Blockage. The reversed card reflects an energetic blockage. So the reversed Ace of Wands would reflect passion that is blocked. creativity blocked. Patterns and attention. Reversals sometimes require extra attention and create their own interesting patterns within a spread. And then ignore. A reversal can always be ignored. Flip the cards right side up and proceed with your reading. This is the best technique as you first learn tarot. Move at your own pace. Do not overcomplicate your readings as you're getting comfortable with the deck. Now, when I was reading professionally, and if someone, was coming to me with just wanting a year's reading, I would do the Wheel of Fortune spread, which are in threes. And also, if I do just a targeted question, I do 3 sets of 3. And the rule was always, even, if I did allow for reverses, that if all 3 came reversed, I would flip them all around. Okay, then we have a Book of Shadows, or a grimoire. Ideas and sections for your Book of Shadows. I'm not going to read all of these. I will leave you something to discover when you get this deck, because I know you're going to get it because it's fabulous. And then there's Initiation. Oh my God, that's awesome. To initiate yourself into the dark wood, carve out at least 30 minutes to work alone with your deck. Rituals prepare the body for spiritual work and create a sensual atmosphere. Light candles, smudge the room, create a sensual atmosphere. No, wait a minute. And create a sensual atmosphere. Cleanse the room with sage. Play music tailored to your senses. The Darkwood Tarot pairs beautifully with motion picture soundtracks. Use anything that gets you a meditative and receptive mood. Clear your mind. Greet the deck. All right, alchemical questions. 3 elements of alchemical question construction. Acknowledge your personal power. State your desired outcome. Include how you want to feel. Questions. How can I? What can I? What can I do? Where should I? State your desired outcome. Include how you want to feel. Enchantments. Oh my goodness, using the tarot with spells, recurring patterns. Then we break down 1 through 10, and the pattern that goes through all of the 3s, for instance, talks about creativity of some sort. The 4 suits, the royal ones on quartz. The tarot spreads, 1 card, shadow self, my bright side, my dark side. How can I integrate the 2? That's excellent. Deadly problems, situation, deadly problem, solution. Awaken inner magic spread, the soulmate spread, the energetic chakra spread, the hindsight, insight, foresight spread. Okay, and then the cards, the prologue. So there is a story prologue that goes with the deck too. I'm not going to I'm going to go straight intuitive. I'm just going to go straight up with 3s. I'm seeing the 3x3 plus 1 in my head. But first, let's really snuggle up with this deck, eh? Let's do a sage cleanse. I had kind of backed off on using white sage because I'm kind of running out and I want to be careful with my supplies. And then the current unpleasantness began, and so I went back. So let's start by just cleansing. This is going to be a long video, you guys. I hope you're up for it. Let's just do the kind of comfortable, cozy, dark and snuggly kind of day. All right. So we've cleansed by air and by fire. Let's cleanse with ocean water, by water and earth. And let's do our book as well. And the box to keep it safe. I do love magnet boxes. I really do love just the secure feeling, but I also don't love them because they take up so much space on my shelf, and I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to rearrange and get rid of some books in order to have room for my wonderful collection. Now, To my guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you so much for being with me here today. I offer you fresh water, and I offer you the spirit of divination, the fire of Azrael. May you be attracted to this deck. Now let's have a shuffle. I'm so looking forward to this. Oh wait, before we do that, I have one more thing. I want to give it a sound bath. And I already know I'm going to modify this deck with edging. I hope I will find a marker in this wonderful, it looks more green than it does on camera to me. It looks a little more brown or tan on camera, but it's a greenish. That's wonderful. All right, so while we're shuffling, let's yeah, I didn't get them quite close enough together there. Let's start putting our question in. How do we today, on this day that you are watching this video, hey, are you, they don't like to be shuffled that way. Okay, I will listen to you. Let's just start cut shuffling. And I do want to do a couple more riffles because this is the first time through. Will you please, may I? Mother, may I? Riffle shuffle this deck. I just have to go closer. Closer? Slower. I have to go slower. All right. Slowly and mindfully. All right. How do we today, on the day that you are watching this video, how do you ask yourself the question, how do I move from the feeling of merely surviving into the full expression of myself as I am thriving? Oh, this is getting fun now. All right. How do we move from this survival feeling, this duck and cover? You know, those of us that grew up in the 50s and 60s and were taught to shield ourselves from, oof, that really wanted to come out, from nuclear explosions by hiding under our desks. So Six of Pentacles was one of the cards I kind of looked at specially, and it was talking about tit for tat is what I'm hearing in my head. It was talking about, I mean, it looks, you're receiving something, but what are you signing away? What is the agreement you're making? What is the quid pro quo that you are offering? If you're asking to receive, what are you asking to receive? What is it that you're begging the universe for lately? And then ask, what am I willing to give for this? We've got Wheel of Fortune here and the Six of Swords. So here we have pattern. We have a number pattern. The Six of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. And I'm going to look in the beginning of the book here to see sixes. She says heart expansion. So, oh, this is fascinating. So we have Wheel of Fortune. And if you're watching this way down the road, you know, I try so hard to be non-topical. I fail miserably. Because topics are important. And it also, when there is a context of a topic, it can really show you how well this deck does, you know, with the real world. I am shooting this on March 7th, 2022. As Ukraine has been invaded by Russia and we wait gritting our teeth. So the Wheel of Fortune says we are evolving here. Something is changing. Something is going through a natural, organic evolution. That's what the Wheel of Fortune says. It talks about, fate and fortune and luck and all those kind of things, but coming out this way, it just says something here is moving forward and evolving. And what's evolving is our heart. What did it say? Heart opening? I wish I could retain things in my brain a little bit longer. Heart expansion. All right. The Six of Swords talks about making our way through troubled waters, but look, she's heading this way. All right, let's do, look at the Ace of Wands. Ooh, baby. All right. So just going intuitively here, we've got the Ace of Wands right at the center of this reading. So we're talking about action, creativity, a time to act. We need to, how do we go into thriving? We get busy. We get busy on whatever it is that is in our control. The Wheel of Fortune says things are moving forward and there's consequences to be had. Look at the wheel moves forward, and what we are confronting here is whatever deals we've made with the devil. Holy shit, is that ever talking about Putin? The trade deals that have been made. The people that are involved with Russia financially that have made deals with the devil there. And the fact that the Six of Swords is heading back this way says consequences are coming for those deals. The Ten of Cups, we've got the happy family and action and the Empress. Okay, wow, the Empress could actually be Russia. All right, let me expand. Let me expand my intuition here. So the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Empress, this is about safety, security, and family. That we need to get active in and on a personal level, get very active about what we are grateful for. As we watch others in the world going through terrible trials and tribulations, does that trigger in us the kind of gratitude that then moves us to help others that don't have the wonderful things that we have? So this Ace of Wands says it's time to start and to let our actions be based in the love of family, in the abundance that we have, the world sharing our abundance. And then down at the bottom, check this out, you guys. We got the Two of Wands here, choices. And I mean, already those just 1 or 2 word titles for the minors are sticking in my head. Was Two of Wands choice, though? I thought Two of Pentacles was choice. Yeah, maybe they're not sticking as well as I thought. Nothing does. Why should this? Okay, Two of Wands is the Witch of Wands. She stands between 2 wands. There's astrological symbols on the wall behind. So, wow, do I really appreciate these huge images in the book. And there's all these partially eaten apple cores at her feet. Okay, hold on. Let's just go to the meanings here. World in your hands. All right, so that, the Two of Wands comes from, this is the impetus. This is the start. The ignition is the word they give it. And then this is where we decide what we're going to do with it, where we take responsibility. The world in the hand says this is all up to me. It's mine to do. And then we've got death and the Star. I want to read Two of Wands some more here. Oops. Eye on the prize, careful planning, making good choices. So yes, twos are always about choices. The duality, this or that, you or me, either or. Going back to the number breakdown that she gave. Okay. Twos are partnership, she says. 1, beginnings. 2, partnership. 3, creativity. 4, structure. 5, challenge. 6, heart expansion. 7, uncanny. Interesting. 8, infinite perfection. 9, wish fulfillment. And 10, endings. 10, as I've been, doing my deeper study of the tarot, I do believe it was Paul Foster Case who was saying that the 9 is the culmination of the suit. The 10 is the disintegration, is the excess and the disintegration, and that's a wonderful thing to think about. So in this case, the 10 could talk about becoming complacent and just sort of relaxing into our own happiness. With the Ace of Wands after it, it says we can't get complacent, that we need to ignite an idea of security and abundance that is broader and more fundamental for all people, not just our personal happiness. Fascinating reading here. So yes, taking things in your hand, eye on the prize, the energy of excitement doubles. Realistic intention setting, plot a course of action. So this is all about planning. It's, it's energy, it's wands. Do not allow others to drain you. Keep personal energy protected. And that's the boundary of the wands there. So we've got choices ahead of us. We need to make some plans here. And she is looking to, well, she's looking straight ahead. But then we've got the death card. Something ends, and yet there is hope. So amidst death, which is final change. So we have 2 cards, 2 major arcana that deal with change. There are many of them, and they're all slightly different type of change. The Wheel of Fortune is organic change. It's natural change. It's evolutionary change. Death is final change. Okay, I want to look up death. So we do want to give, the book more of a shake, and we haven't looked up any of the majors. It says, death is the archetype of death. There you go. Let death teach you how to live. The hanged man falls to the ground. So there's the person that was in the hanged man. I love that she's connecting one major with the one before it. Her red gown turns silky white, and her back sprouts white feather wings. Her chestnut hair turns ashy gray. I feel that, boy. The vampire transforms into a weeping angel. Death moves through the woods with a scythe, collecting souls just as feudal farmers collected wheat. The season ends. It's harvest time. Death holds an hourglass. Time has run out. A small child looks up with wonder. Children accept all things at face value until experience and education lead them to question and fear. Death exists in the shadow areas of our psyche until we are forced to deal with it. Death is not the opposite of life. Life is infinite. Death is the opposite of birth, a construct of the material world. This is fabulous. Life's infinity resides behind the dance of birth and death. Consciousness awakens in the fool and resolves in complete integration at the world. Okay. Consciousness awakens in the fool and resolves in complete integration at the world. Okay. The whole major arcana. Death arrives at number 13, the uncanny number of strangeness and occult significance. Death is the energy keeping the material world fresh and new. And there we have the large image, and still more. So I'm going to read the whole thing for death, but I'm not going to do this for every major. Esoterically, death occurs during initiation into a magical or secret society. Yes, you die to your old way of life. Every kind of initiation that our culture still has, and weddings are like one of the only ones, has to do with a symbolic death. The the married couple or the engaged couple not being able to see each other the night before. There's like this cutoff of their old life and before they're introduced to each other in their new life, all that kind of stuff. Okay, the old self drops away and the new soul emerges. Death inhabits Shavasana, the final resting pose of yoga, where the practitioner is transformed by her practice. You just lie on your back. Death inhabits the shadows, forests, and thickets of Gothic literature, film, and horror. How do we integrate death's lessons? How can death teach us how to live? Death teaches us all things change constantly from the molecular level to the mundane life. Death is ongoing like the weather. Death is the energy allowing emotions to appear, be felt, and slip away only to be replaced by new ones. All I have to do is look out at the woods and all the dead leaves out there that are turning to soil to see it. Western cultures traditionally reflect the human spirit either rising to heaven or descending into hell after death. This is a dualistic version of the cosmos, ignoring a complexity which holds all options simultaneously. The Darkwood teaches us to befriend the darkness, look death in the eyes, and make peace with all aspects of human existence. Death is the impermanence of the world. Meaning, terminus, the end of a way of being, clearing the path, the ascent to higher understanding, the beginning of true integration, a new beginning with a deeper understanding unfolds, let go. So the meanings, I mean, the writing here is absolutely spectacular. You're going to get a nice little mini lecture on every one of the cards, particularly the majors. So we see something coming to an end here. We are looking at making choices. Making a choice to integrate death into our plans on a personal level here. Think about that. We're making a plan and making choices. We need to integrate the idea of death into that. And this can be as big as, you know, if you're investing money or looking at, you know, insurance plans, the idea that we're all going to die. Are you thinking about that when you're making your plans? And then bringing it down to kind of the geopolitical level. Yes, plans and choices are being made now about sanctions and what we do to help Ukraine without triggering World War III. Although, I mean, come on, folks. Those horses have already left the barn. Thank you very much. But death says we need to incorporate the reality that things do end. And that can actually bring us hope. When you look at the life cycles that we go through, at the, you know, the phases we've gone through on this planet, and our nuclear phase, our Plutonian phase, it is good news that death is a fact of life, that all things come to an end. And that brings us hope that we can then, as Pluto, when it finally lands in Aquarius, perhaps we have hope of bringing the new in. And let's look at the last card. The Ace of Swords. Let's take a look at him. Okay, wands. I think the swords came last, didn't they? Yes, no. Yes, no, yes, no. All right, the Ace of Swords is the origin story. Tarot suits are an unfolding story progressing from the Ace to the 10. Tarot aces sparkle with unique magic. Aces are the seed of their suit. The infinite possibilities of each suit exist inside the ace, just as everything you are, were, and will be is tucked inside of you. Understanding how the ace is a seed, like a flower, fruit, or vegetable seed, will help you interpret the ace when it appears in a reading. It is true beginning. The Ace of Swords is the flash of insight instigating the world of swords. A mysterious hand appears through the clouds. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole thing. Flash of understanding, insight, the brilliance of the mind, mental facilities working, a genius idea, execute your inspired plan now, winning, a great organizing intelligence, the essence of truth, logic and reason can be applied for desired results, strength of the mind, soundness of thought, clarity, brilliance. Also, for me, The aces always denote a beginning. So this is where you can look at patterns in your readings. If you're doing a reading and you've got, 3 of the 4 aces, which one's missing? First of all, if you get more than 2, or more than 1, it's going to say that, there really is, you're in a beginning phase. If you get a reading where there's lots of 9s and 10s and also aces, it tells me there's a phase that is still ongoing, but it is culminating. It's about to wrap up, and the new beginning has already been seeded. But in particular, I see the Ace of Swords. I see them all as beginnings, but the Ace of Swords can be a beginning that happens because of what you end, because of what you cut away. So looking at it like this, it's like we need a new idea. We need communications to be happening. We need, the keenest minds working on our world right now. And our new beginning comes because of what we cut away and what we say no to. What we say no to. And saying no to war. I mean, with the sanctions, this is basically what we're doing. We're doing everything we can to support Ukraine. There are, I do believe the U.S. is sending, or I think is it Germany or Poland, is sending fighter jets to Ukraine, and the U.S. is backfilling those to the nation that's giving them, so that we aren't directly, so we're not overstepping into something that immediately triggers, world war. Wow. Okay. So we need to look at the deals we've made. We need to be aware that energy is an exchange, that the wheel is always turning, that as above, so below, that what goes around comes around is what started off this reading. Actually, the 6 of Pentacles started off the reading, quid pro quo, and consequences are coming back. So that's what we have to acknowledge right now, personally, on every level, that we are now in a place where we are reaping. This is a reaping thing. And it's time to ignite a new way of being, to come out of our complacency and expand this notion of abundance for all. It's time to look at the plans that we're making and incorporate the reality that everything comes to an end in those plans, maybe even looking at what is it time for us to decide to end, and then looking forward in hope. And then the Ace of Swords saying it's the origin story. We are back to the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves. Some people talk about this being the upheld sword of truth. So we need to be truthful with ourselves in the stories that we've told ourselves about who we are, what we deserve, what we have to pay for, and the deals we've made. Wow. Okay. And you can also look this way too. But I'm not going to, because this is already over an hour. If you have stuck with me this long, you are a champion and you are my hero. And I hope you're subscribed to my channel. If you're not, please do that if you want to. And if you like this video, hit the like button. Share them with people that you think might enjoy this. If you have this deck, give me your thoughts on it down below. I answer everybody's comments. So please comment. Let's have a dialogue. And come hang with me on Wednesday evenings for live stream readings. And I really appreciate you being here. And I hope you enjoyed this long-ass video. I hope you got some comfort from it and had a cup of tea. And until I see you next time, hold on. You get to see my big face. There we go. Till I see you next time. This is Luna. Bye-bye. Blessed be.